Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your April 2019 Tarology 33 reading. We have a Celtic cross spread in front of us as always, and then I also pulled a couple Oracle cards for you guys and a Mudra card as well. So we'll get started with the spread. It looks like there's a pretty solid story going on here, but I'll try to mention a few different scenarios just to try to relate it to more of you. But this could be one of those where it definitely resonates for a few of you pretty strongly, and then others of you maybe not as much, but we'll see as we go along. The main situation position, rather, we have the Page of Cups. So this could be pointing to a love offer. Now, usually it's not necessarily a love offer with any like bad intention behind it, but usually what ends up happening is there's either the person isn't taken seriously or the offer itself just, is a bit of a jumbled mess. And, I mean, we will still be dealing with the aftermath anyway of Mercury retrograde until maybe around, let's say, the end of the first week of April for the shadow period to officially clear and everything. But, that could be what is influencing it to an extent. But, I mean, let's look at it a couple different ways. So let's say that someone makes a love offer to you, but they're not known to be very let's say they're a bit non-committal, right? So you're like, okay, they're making this offer to me, but how seriously can I really take it, right? You're like, all right, I know how this person is, so all right, they might be making an advance towards me and trying to make it seem like more than what it really is, but I can see through it, right? Like that with that fish coming out of the cup, like to literally say there's something fishy about the offer. And another way you could come across is just to say that, their offer might be totally genuine, but it could just be along the lines of they're a bit nervous, let's say. With the page energies, I always say if you look at their stance and everything, the way I define them is they're like an energy that's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So that could be it too. It's like, yeah, they do want to make a serious offer, but maybe they're intimidated, right? Or they're just not comfortable being the ones to make an offer. So, maybe it's out of their comfort zone to do that. So that could be what's going on there. It could play out either way. It could be you're the one that's making that offer and that's how someone's perceiving you, one of those two ways, or it's the other way around, someone's making an offer to you and that's how you're viewing them. And the challenger obstacle position, we have the Knight of Wands. And this is actually the court card for Sagittarius. So this could definitely be pointing to you. And it won't focus. There we go. So what this could be saying in that position is that it could be you getting in your own way as far as, let's say, it is a genuine offer from the person, but you're not taking it seriously, right? That could be why you're coming up in the challenge obstacle, whereas it's like, all right, this is actually something that has potential, but you're kind of blowing it off as, all right, yeah, I don't know if they're, really serious about it. Or conversely, if it's you that made an offer to someone, they might not be taking you seriously, and that's why you're showing up in the challenge obstacle position, because they know you as someone who's not very committal. So they're like, okay, yeah, they're telling me that they want to see me next weekend or whatever, or oh, they want to take me out to dinner, but I know it's going to be nothing serious, right? So that could be what's going on there with that dynamic. So that's the main vibe that I'm getting at. Either someone's just not taking someone seriously with the offer, or it's just a matter of, if it's the other way around where someone's making an offer but they're not comfortable in that role, that could be what it is as well. But for that scenario, I'd say it'd be more likely it was the other person, and then more likely that if they, if you're the one who makes the offer but they are a little reluctant to trust it, then that would be more likely it was you that was making the offer in this case. In the foundation position, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is actually a court card for Virgo, and it's the slowest moving of the night. the knights or whatever. So if you look at these two side by side, let's say, you get a feel for clearly the Knight of Wands horse looks like they're hauling more ass than the Knight of Pentacles is, right? So that just gives you an idea. The Pentacles energy, it would be a stable offer, but it just might be very slow coming. So let's look at it this way. Let's say that this is the other person, right? And they made the offer to you. Maybe it came off a bit shaky because it just took them so long to finally get to the point to even make the offer, and then maybe they tripped over their words about it, right? So you're like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna, if I should trust that offer or not, right? That's one way it could play out. um and I mean, it could certainly be two people too, because it looks like, if you want to look at the way that that card falls in the spread, they're looking at and moving in the direction of the Knight of Pentacles. So maybe someone makes you an offer that you don't take seriously, and you're trying to move towards something that is more of a stable offer. That could be the way it's playing out for some of you as well. But I'm definitely just getting that kind of vibe where either an offer is not being taken seriously, or whether it's because that person has a reputation that they're seeing and they're like, okay, I don't think I'm going to trust this person's offer, or it is a genuine offer, but you know just comes off a bit odd, so the person's like, yeah, I don't know what to even think of that, and just kind of ignores it or declines. In the past position, we have the Two of Cups, and we have the Seven of Swords. So this could give a bit of background on why someone might be reluctant to accept an offer, right? So let's say someone was in a connection like this, right? Two of Cups. They thought it was going to be a great connection, and then that person ended up deceiving them, right? Not to stereotype you guys, of course, because everyone has good and bad qualities, but the Knight of Wands energy in general, even though that represents your sign as far as the court cards go, the Knight of Wands energy is seen as like that in here today, gone tomorrow type of energy. So let's say you're making the offer and it's the scenario where you are genuine about it, but someone, the person you make the offer to has dealt with someone like that in the past, so they make assumptions about you, thinking that you would be the same way as the person in the past. So that could be why they, decline the offer. Or, it could be the fact that someone did get burned in the past that makes them a little reluctant, and shaky about making the offer, because they feel like they're really putting themselves out there, because they're like, all right, in the past, this is where it got me, So that's the primary vibes that I'm getting there. In the present position, we have the Three of Cups. Now, I rarely, I know a lot of tarot readers see this as a third party situation. I personally rarely do. But given that we did have the Two of Cups with the Seven of Swords right beneath it, and then followed by this, it's definitely possible that that could be what's going on for some of you. But generally speaking, I see the Three of Cups as an energy of reconnecting with people, long-standing connections. So, it could be siblings, it could be friends that you grew up with. Usually it's not I don't view these three people as people that just met each other last week, put it that way. To me, this resembles like a group that's been together for a long time. Primarily because I view it as a mixture of the moon and Pluto energy. So, and it's a fixed energy as well. So it's definitely like that. Okay, these are connections that have been around for a long time. So let's say that you've gone through a breakup, right? And now you're just, people tend to do that, right? The first thing you do when you break up with someone, you tend to want to go out with your friends to keep your mind off things, right? Reconnect with them. So that could be what's going on there. But yeah, there's definitely a possibility. Like I said, it's rare for me to say that, but given the cards the way they're laid out there, it's definitely a possibility that there was a third party situation going on in this particular case. And maybe that's the issue. So In the near future position, we have the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. So what could be going on with these two cards? This is actually a card that represents the middle 10 degrees of Taurus. So, for some of you, this could be saying that it might take until the start of May, since this is near future, right? This is a reading for April. Technically, May could be considered near future in that context, all right? You might say that it might take until early May for the actual balance to be restored in this connection, whatever the case may be. But with the Eight of Swords there, could just be saying that, maybe this could be pointing to someone, whoever was in the wrong trying to restore the balance, right? If there was a third party situation and they got found out, they could be rushing in, right, with the night energy there to try to fix the connection, but the other person might be like, yeah, I don't know, I don't think I can trust that, right? So that could be what's going on there. Another thing that this could be too, though, is like I said, maybe this is someone that's made an offer to you, and like I said, so if this is that same energy, right? This is the person who's had their eye on you for a while, right? Because it is, like I said, the Knight of Pentacles is slow moving, so this would have been something they thought about for a long time. They finally make the offer to you. Maybe it came off a little clumsy, right? Or, you just blew it off altogether because you were in your here today, gone tomorrow mode and didn't really give it much thought. And, because of that, they're feeling like, all right, well, I'm putting in this work trying to get things off the ground and it's not getting me anywhere, right? So that could be how that person is feeling. And the reason why I say it could definitely be the other person is because of the card we have in the environment's influence on the situation, but we'll focus on that a bit more when we get to that position. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Seven of Cups. So this leads me to think a couple of things. One, again, it could go back to someone made an offer to you and you didn't take it seriously for whatever reason. Or this could just be saying that you have a lot of options to begin with, and maybe that was what the issue was for that other person, right? Like they might have made you an offer and felt like you just blew it off, right? Because, you have a lot of options. And again, like I said, going with that non-committal theme. So, and it could just be saying that in general, you're not seeing things clearly. So this offer made here could have very well been a good offer, but this card here is an energy of not seeing things too clearly, and that wouldn't surprise me because Mercury has been in Pisces and it's been squaring your ruler Jupiter, which is in your sign, and it's done it. I think it did it first in like late February. Then it did it in March when it started moving retrograde, and then it's going to do it again this in April. So, that could definitely help to make things a bit muddy for you as far as how you may be seeing things, because Jupiter rules your sign to begin with. It's in your sign, and then Mercury squaring it could cause that kind of confusion. So that could be what you've been dealing with or will be dealing with in April anyway, where there's a lot of options on the table for you, but you're not necessarily seeing them clearly. You might have perceived an offer as something that maybe was a little bit iffy, but it actually was more stable than you thought, and maybe you realize that now, maybe later on, and you're trying to rush in to accept it, right? But could be it's too late, or it's just going to require some work on your end now to restore the balance. If this is actually you saying, okay, well, now this person is feeling gun shy because they made the offer and they felt like you blew it off, so now they're like not sure what to do next. So it's saying you might have to put in some work to restore the balance if that's what's going on. In the environment position, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So to me, this really makes me think that this is all tied to this person here. the Knight of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, which is to say, there's an energy. I feel like they might have felt like they've tried to get your attention, let's say, right, multiple times. And they're like, you know what? I've tried to make myself clear that I'm into them, and, apparently they're not feeling it, right? Because I just get that feeling with this energy here. It's like they're viewing those Seven Pentacles as the work that they've put in to try to get things off the ground. And with that Eight of Swords beneath the Six, the Six of Pentacles, they might just feel like, it's not worth it. It's not getting me anywhere. This person's in Seven of Cups mode. Like I said, whether that's you having multiple options and not deciding on any of them, or, not perceiving their advances towards you as genuine, whatever the case may be, they might just be at the point where they're like, yeah, you know what? Do I even want to continue to put in any effort, or should I just cut my losses and move on? That's the vibe that I'm getting there. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Ace of Wands. So, I'm going to guess this is a hope of yours, and to me, that's usually wanting to start something new, right? I mean, could be a very Sagittarian thing, right? Looking forward to the next adventure. I mean, obviously, a lot of readers point out the fact that this does look like a pretty clearly defined phallic symbol, too, so it could definitely be a sexual thing. But not necessarily, and it could even be saying that you want to restart with this person, right? Maybe that, like I said, there was a person that had been making these offers to you, and maybe you were oblivious to it. It wasn't that you weren't interested, but maybe you just had so many options, you didn't realize that they were as serious about you as they were, possibly, right? So you're just like, oh, okay, this is just one person among a group of people that I could date casually, and it's no big deal. I could see them when, here and there, it's not anything committed, and then you realize, oh, wait, they actually did want something more serious, and maybe you're at that point now too. So now you're like, all right, well, I want to have a fresh start with this person, right? For others of you, could just be saying that you're still in that mode, that Seven of Cups. You're like, I really don't want anything serious, right? That's what's going on here, and the other person might be disappointed by that, but that's just where you're at right now. And with the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck, this could just be saying that you do have a lot of connections that you're dealing with right now, or it could just be saying that your life is so busy in other areas that to actually take on a serious relationship, you just think it would be too much for you at this time. So those are the energies that could be playing out there. But whatever the case may be, in the outcome position, you got two major arcana cards that came out. So you have the Tower, and you have the Justice card. So, I mean, no one is ever happy to see the Tower in their spread, especially not in the outcome position, right? But if there's any card to be paired with it, the Justice card is one of the better ones that you could get, especially in the upright. So, this could again be a theme of starting over. Like I said, with that Ace of Wands there, maybe this is finally that moment, right? Where, so it doesn't have to be anything too drastic, but it could just be the realization for you that, oh, wait, I need to get it together if I want to be with this person, because otherwise, this is how this connection's going to end up, right? And then, again, reflecting that Six of Pentacles card there, where we see those scales as well, and the person in the red could just be saying that, okay, you realize, all right, I need to make sure that things are balanced, put in my fair share in this connection, and move things forward, right? Another way it could be too is, like I said, if you're in a third party situation, whether it's you who brought in the third party or the other person, that Tower could end up breaking that connection, which would restore justice in that way, right? If someone's being dishonest about that third party and making the other person think that, oh no, yeah, it's just me and you, right? But then behind their back, yeah, there's the relationship, but they also have all these other things going on, then that Tower could bring those things to light this month, then justice would be served in that regard, more of like a karmic justice type thing, right? So So if there is a third party dynamic going on, that could definitely come out this month. So if that's you who's incorporating a third party, yeah, if nothing else, you should take that as a warning of what can happen this month. But yeah, for the majority of you, I think it's more of like a mental realization, especially with the Justice card underneath it, because that is an air sign. Basically, it's the major arcana card for Libra. So it could just be a mental realization. Something clicks in your head that, maybe, like I said, when that final square happens between Mercury and Jupiter, I think it'll be around the middle of April at the latest, so not too late in the month. Maybe after that final square, at least with Mercury moving forward again that time, maybe that helps you realize, oh, wait, you know what? The things that I wasn't seeing very clearly initially with those squares, now I'm actually seeing it clearly. I know what I need to do next, right? Whether it's now you need to make the offer to the person if they made one to you in the past, right? Maybe that's what the Knight of Wands is saying. It's like you need to rush in and fix the connection with that person, right? Maybe that's why he's looking down at that Knight of Pentacles. So, um, but yeah, looks like there will be balance restored. So, like I said, if you're the one who's not doing anything wrong, then you have that going for you. And, so let's say if it's just you had good intentions, but you didn't realize that the person was that into you, right? Then okay, that's not necessarily you did anything wrong. So this is saying, all right, the tower's just saying it's gonna clear up that illusion and get you guys on the right track together. Um, and if it's the other person who has a third party, for example, that'll come out and justice will be served in that way. Trying to see if I get anything else with those cards, but I think that's pretty much it. I'm really feeling that that's what that is. That's primarily pointing to that square. So, it could just be that you're not seeing things necessarily too clearly right now. And once that last square happens, things should start to correct themselves at that point. All right, we'll look at your oracle cards. The first one we have is Peace. There's the artwork for it, and it's number 23. We'll read the message for that first. Okay, it says freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. The Oracle's message. It doesn't get any better than this. A quiet mind, a heart fulfilled, freedom from want, and the soul's satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. Well, I mean, that's, I'm not sure that resonates too much with this main spread, but sounds better than some of what we saw in that main spread, so hopefully it does resonate for you guys. But, I mean, this spread does point to harmony and balance, but after that tower moment, so, The relationship message says when two people are in true alignment with one another, they have an innate harmony between them. They are as two perfectly tuned instruments playing together. Sometimes it's impossible to tell who is who. Peace is yours, and it is to be savored. Yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, usually that Oracle deck really resonates with the main spread, but I'm not really seeing a connection there so far. But on the bright side, if this is just trying to give you an optimistic spin on how some of these dynamics work out, then yeah, by all means, that's great. But, so far I'm not sure I see a big connection there, to be honest with you. Hopefully you guys do, though. All right, the prosperity message says this is one of those times when you're capable of clear vision about your work and how you create your prosperity. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. You're called by a presence to step into your power. Just being is enough, for you are in peaceful harmony with spirit and it shows in your work. Yeah, it's just funny. You're capable of clear vision just almost makes me laugh again because you have the Seven of Cups in your position. So it's almost the opposite of that. But again, like I said, hopefully, I mean, this is a pretty sweet sounding card. So hopefully it does resonate for you guys. But I'm not necessarily seeing these dynamics from the main spread. So maybe it's just a message for those of you who, where the main spread doesn't resonate. Maybe this is giving you some insight into your situation. All right, and let's take a look at the other Oracle deck. You guys got two cards there, and before, I even read the messages, just looking at the two cards already was interesting to me because the first one's Chameleon Spirit, act as if. So that made me think of the Page of Cups and the Seven of Cups, almost like that, confusion and illusion type dynamic going on there where things aren't exactly what they seem, right, with the chameleon. But there's the artwork for it, and it's number 14. So, well, actually, what's interesting, I'm looking at that number. 14 in the Major Arcana is the Temperance card, which is your card. So maybe there's some significance to that number coming up too. All right. Well, and then you even have the fact actually that, looking at on the actual clothing of the person in the Knight of Wands, it looks like they have like lizards on their gear too, which is interesting. But I don't know, just a random insight I just had there. But the Oracle message says, Chameleon Spirit shares her gift with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing, and you're required to come into harmony with them so you can co-create your greatest dream. Feeling sensitive? Good, because that will come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt to your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. Even if you feel like you're in uncharted territory, Chameleon Spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. This is a fortunate time to act as if and do as others do until the new ways feel familiar and completely natural. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself, it's about learning how to dance with others. So that's an interesting one there. Like, let's say that the Six of Pentacles is about you realizing, oh, you know what, this person, was actually more serious about me than I first realized. Let me put in the work to try to restore the balance, right? And maybe it'll take a little work since we had the Eight of Swords beneath that. But, it could just be saying that, all right, you can still, be a part of that without losing your identity. But, it's just a matter of figuring out the give and take that'll work for both of you, right? So, already this one does sound like it does work a little better with this main spread anyway. Like I said, hopefully that first one did resonate with you guys because overall sounds like a clearer, happier message than what we have going on here, but we'll see. Everybody's story is different. So the next one you guys got was Dolphin Spirit. This and that are true. So this is another one where I was like, oh boy. This and that are true reminds you of that Seven of Cups energy. And like I said, with the Page of Cups, how, there might be some confusion. Okay, is this a genuine offer and the person's just nervous? Or is this someone that maybe I shouldn't take so seriously? So we'll see what this card has to say. But yeah, there's the artwork for it. And the number is 20. Oracle message says, Dolphin Spirit, like her earthly manifestation, is a reminder of duality. As the dolphin is both mammal and sea creature, so too is dolphin spirit both this and that. Two truths coexist. The story you tell and another as well. The duality of life is present when we are suffering, for there is a blessing, too, in the helpers that appear. Within clouds are silver linings. When we later reflect on what happened, we can see that the situation was both this and that, and a choice led to both joy and sorrow. No relationship is either all good or all bad, and people have qualities of both light and shadow. Focus on the positive, for light exists alongside the darkness. Dolphin spirit calls for you to come up from below and enjoy a weightless moment in the sun as you dive in and out of this and that, accepting and even enjoying the duality of life. Why not join Dolphin Spirit in acknowledging and affirming the blessings present in this moment? In all areas of your life, there are aspects of both this and that. Today, you can celebrate this fact and recognize the complexity and the beauty of the fabric of the universe. You are at a place right now where your past self is still present as you move toward the new self you are becoming. Aspects of both selves are present, so even if you want to say goodbye to what was, you are required to find solace in this between time. Today is not a day to choose one over another either, but rather to accept things as they are without judgment or resistance. Even in matters of the heart, duality is present. Your next action will be obvious when you drop your bias and see things as a whole. So that was like a whole novel in of itself, kind of, but at the same time, I feel like it does make sense for the spread as well. And this could just be saying that that's you, right? Maybe, you made an offer to someone and they didn't take it seriously, right? So maybe this is you realizing, okay, I need to, maybe step things up a little bit and, come across as, more stable in that regard, right? Maybe that's making you realize, oh, okay, you know what? I really don't want to lose this person, right? The tower and the justice card. Let me, put something more solid out on the table for them. So that could be what that's about there. And this could just be a transition you're going through in general, right? Moving out of that more here today, gone tomorrow type phase and just, trying to be more focused and directed in a certain area. Because, the Knight of Pentacles is still a Knight energy, so it's not like you're completely losing your nature, but it's just like, all right, let me be a little more steady and grounded in a certain area of life, right? So that could be any area. It doesn't have to be just the relationships, it could be your business life, maybe friendships, whatever the case, you name it. All right, and now we'll look at your mudra card, and then we'll wrap up. So the mudra that you guys got for this month is the Dhyana Mudra. And for those of you guys who don't know, I've been doing this for basically the 2019 readings for all signs so far. I've been pulling a mudra card for each sign. And what a mudra is, if you don't know, it's a pose or a gesture that you make with your hands typically. And their purpose, you do it while you're meditating. Usually 5 minutes is the minimum that you want to hold it for. Some of them recommend 30, 45 minutes, but if you don't normally meditate, 5 minutes will be fine. Just better than nothing anyway. But their purpose is to help clear blockages, whether it be, sometimes physical blockages, sometimes emotional as well. But this is the particular mudra that you got. So this is the gesture or the pose that you would make with your hands. And this particular one, the keyword is meditation. So I'll flip the card over so you guys can read what it says. There we go. So, if you guys want to take a screenshot of that or just pause it to read it real quick, you can do so. And then I'll move it up a bit so you can see the rest of what's on the card too. Okay, so yeah, for benefits, you see it says facilitates natural diaphragmatic breathing, aids efficient digestion and assimilation of nutrients, helps the earnest spiritual seeker to embody their original nature by releasing striving and attachment. The gesture gives tangible expression to what can't be explained in words. So that's a pretty interesting one there because, going back to that Seven of Cups energy, if there's this something you're feeling but you're struggling, like really focusing on what exactly that is, maybe this mudra could help you out in that regard. So what I'll do is I'll put the name of that mudra in the description of the video as well. And also, if you guys wanted to book a personal reading with me, I'll put some information for that in the description. If you guys wanted to follow my Instagram, we have a little bit more fun with tarot and astrology there if you want to check that out. But aside from that, guys, I'll see you next month. All right, bye.